if you lose faith, if you lose hope, if you lose the energy that's driving you to show up for the work that you want to do in the world and the impact that you want to make, the difference that you want to make, then we lose. We lose. Hey, I'm Andrea. If you're new to me, I create content and programs for people who have a vision for change in the world, or at the very least know that a different reality is possible and want to work towards creating that. So if that's you, you're in the right place. Everything I do is rooted in understanding that you are both the system and the revolution. And what you do with who you are and what you have matters. And that is why we're talking about, I don't know what that was. And that is why today we are talking about burnout. Now, I cannot tell you the number of times I have told somebody in response to them asking me how I am or how I'm doing that I am exhausted. I'm exhausted. I can't tell you the number of times I've said that, especially in this past year. It's ridiculous. And I know I'm not the only one. I know that probably if you are watching this, you have also at some point within the last 6 months felt exhausted to the point of I have nothing to give. And that's why I'm creating this video, because there is so much in this world right now that we need to tend to. And when we're showing up to that work exhausted, super fatigued, and generally not well, that limits the possibilities of what we can create, that limits how much work we can get done, that limits the progress that we can make. Okay, so I really want to take a second before we really dive in to define or really describe what burnout is. I'm not really interested in the dictionary definition because burnout is a descriptor of a human experience. So I decided to ask my friends on Instagram how they know when they're on the verge of burnout or they're completely burnt out, they're completely spent. And I'm going to share what they sent me with you. Thank you if you're one of the people that shared that with me. It's helped me make this video. And as I'm going through this list, let me know in the comments if any of this resonates with you, or if you don't see your experience in this list, let me know in the comments as well. I want to see what else is out there about how do you know? How do you know when you have reached your point? Let me know. It gets harder to feel joy and pleasure even when I'm doing what I care most about. Brain fog. I feel resentful and hopeless. I don't feel in control of my energy. Everything feels like an uphill struggle. Everything and everyone starts making me feel left out, behind, or annoyed. My body breaks down. Mental health challenges get louder. I feel this one. Overwhelmingly irritated with everything, everyone, even myself. And I have no enthusiasm for work anymore. I start having panic attacks and am in general more irritable. So irritation's a big one, huh? Exhaustion, lack of motivation, feeling hopeless. I have little faith in anything and it's a challenge to laugh. I'm so tired and I start being overly emotional. I become extremely reactive to noises, frustration, minor things that elicit a big response. I stop feeling love and caring for my clients and my family. My patience is so thin. Anxiety starts creeping in. Everything gets really hard to do. Anger for no reason. Shallow breathing. Time seems faster. I'm indecisive. I'm overwhelmed. I feel hyper responsible or sensitive. And I resonate with so much of that. For me, I get super irritated. I'm exhausted all the freaking time. I'm stressed. I am unable to access like my creative juice. And my big thing is when I get sick, because I don't get sick very often, knock on wood. I don't get sick very often. And when I feel myself starting to get a cold or feel nauseous, I know I gotta do something. But here's what I know to be true about burnout. Burnout is a result of consistently overriding who you are and what you need. Your financial needs, your energetic needs, your physical needs, emotional, psychological, sexual, relational. If you are consistently bypassing or overriding or neglecting these needs that you have and just who you are as a human, your personality, your wants, your desires, your dreams, I can pretty much guarantee you keep that up, you're gonna get burnt out. Back in high school, I was completely burnt out by the end of my senior year. Probably even before that, actually probably like sophomore year, I was completely done. I was so caught up in performing and making sure I was doing my absolute best and really meeting the expectations not only of my teachers and my parents, but of myself. I have extremely intense, high, and inhumane expectations of myself. And in high school especially, by the time I graduated, I was done for. In my business, especially over this past year, I have been on this kind of seesaw where on one end, we have me doing the absolute most. And on the other end, we have me having nothing to give. And that's because your girl was overriding her needs. But here's a secret that's not really that secret. We're all pretty freaking burnt out. And that's been normalized because, one, our world expects an inhumane level of productivity, and we're taught that we only have value if we're producing something or doing something for others. And two, many of us, especially women, femmes, those that identify with or were socialized into our norms around femininity, we're taught from a very, very young age that it's a good or noble or kind thing to do to prioritize other people's needs over our own, as if all of our needs can't exist and be tended to in the same space. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The problem with that is that the issues that we're faced with as humans right now, the social issues, environmental issues, economic issues, everything is the result of actions taken, decisions made over the course of the past hundreds and thousands of years. So it's taken some time for us to get to this point, and it will take time for us to create something different, to get rid of the things that aren't working for us and to create something new. It's going to take some time. And if you are always exhausted, if you're always fatigued, if you're always irritable, if you lose faith, if you lose hope, if you lose the energy that's driving you to show up for the work that you want to do in the world and the impact that you want to make, the difference that you want to make, then we lose. We lose because you'll only be able to show up for so long. Now, I was actually going to do 2 videos for this. I was going to do one on how to avoid burnout and how to recover from burnout. But then once I actually started getting into what I wanted to say in each video, I realized that the answer is the same. The how is the same. Take care of yourself. I know that I'm probably not the first person to tell you that, and that some of you probably had your stress levels go up just with me mentioning taking care of yourself, or you started to get a little anxious and but, or you just got filled with shame and guilt, and I know I need to take care of myself. But let's take a breath. Here's the thing. It doesn't have to be a big deal. You can just start where you are. You can start small, super small, but start. Take care of yourself. So I want to share with you a list that I put together of ways that you can both avoid burnout and recover from burnout, because it's the same thing. It's the same source. Take care of your needs. And I want you to pay attention to what resonates with you most and let me know. Check in with yourself about what you need. Just ask yourself, what do I need right now? Ask for help, seek support, and let yourself be supported. That's huge. So many of us, one, struggle with asking for support, asking for help, but then also many of us have people around us that want to help, that are asking, how can I help? How can I support you? And we don't know how to allow them to support us. Rest. Take a nap. Shout out to Trisha Hersey from the Nap Ministry. I did a podcast interview with her on A Call to Serve. You can check that out in the description. Do something creative or that brings you joy. Spend time with people who see you, who really see you, not the version of yourself that you try to put out there, not see you for who they think you should be, but they see you. And not just that they see who you are, but that they also are holding with you your dreams, your vision. Hydrate yourself. Hydrate yourself. Take my own advice. Let yourself feel your feels. Cry, rage, grieve. Let yourself, when you have emotions come up, let yourself feel it. I actually want to make a video about that. Let me know if you're interested. Say no when you feel in your body and you know that you're at a no. Honor your boundaries. Don't just tell people, hey, this is a boundary, but actually put your foot down. Actually honor that boundary yourself. Don't expect other people to honor your boundaries. That's a whole nother video too. Track your energy so that you can protect your energy. So pay attention to where you're putting your energy and where it's getting drained, where it's getting refueled and nourished. Track it so that you can better protect your energy. Clarify your priorities. Clarify what is it that you're prioritizing right now? What are you centering in your life? What are you putting at the forefront? And are those the things that you actually want to prioritize? Pay attention to your body's cues. Our bodies have so much information for us, and in our world, it's normalized to put all of our attention outward and focus on what's happening out here, what's going on over there, what's going on over here, but not what's going on inside of us. There's so much information there about what's draining you, about when you need to rest, about when you need to take a break, which is another one on the list. Take a break and breathe. And if breathing is not comfortable for you, do something that grounds you. Take 2 minutes in your day, if you're in your office or you're with your kids or you're working on a paper or an article or whatever it is that you're doing, take 2 minutes to just do whatever grounds you. And lastly, pay attention to who else is showing up, because you're not the only one that cares about the things that you care about. You're not the only one showing up for the issues and the causes and the people that you're trying to show up for. You're not the only one. Often what creates this burnout is the sense of like, I need to be the one to do it, because if I don't do it, who else is going to? If I don't do it, everything will fall apart. Is it true? And maybe it needs to fall apart. Let's get real. Let's get really real. So I want to know which of these stood out to you the most or resonated with you most, where you're like, oh yeah, maybe I should do that. And what I want you to do is to take that one thing that really stood out to you and do one little tiny action with it. If you were like, oh yeah, I really need to hydrate myself, get yourself a water bottle that you can refill consistently and just keep it with you everywhere you go so that it's there, so you can have that constant reminder, should probably drink some water. If the idea of seeking support was like, oh, I should probably do that, think about that one little tiny thing that when you do it, you're always like, it'd be really nice if somebody else did this, or it'd be really nice if I had some help to do this. And just consider, who could I ask? Just consider one tiny action that you can take today. And that might be hard, especially for those of us that tend to care more about others, care more about the world than we do about ourselves. And that's real. I feel you. But We gotta decide, we gotta make a decision. Do I want to show up for just right now, or do I want to show up for the long haul? And if you're in it for the long haul, you have to tend to yourself. The habits and patterns that create burnout for yourself were formed through tiny, seemingly insignificant actions. And dismantling those and creating and cultivating more caring, nourishing, sustainable ways of being with yourself and being with the work that you're here to do requires the same tiny actions. Also, we can't create or cultivate a world without oppression and without unnecessary suffering if while we're doing that, we're doing those very things to ourselves. When you're suppressing yourself and you're obligating yourself to do things when you haven't even checked in with yourself about if that's actually something that you want or need to be doing, when you're avoiding what you need and you're making yourself exist in isolation, it don't make sense, boo. It don't make sense. And there's this quote that I love from Suzanne Farr that says, "Every step towards liberation must have liberation embedded within it." So let me know in the comments what your one tiny action is. Can't wait to see it. And if this video affirmed, challenged, or inspired you in any way, please like and subscribe. That's how you let YouTube know that this is a good video that they should show to more people. And until next time, go forth and be the revolution. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. This man better get this dog. And God. Yeah.